welcome. My name is Nick Hayes, and I'm the founder and CEO of Email Vision. And today's conference is going to be about email marketing, social marketing, and the art of storytelling, and the combination and the power of these three. And I'll be inviting John Sadowsky, who's come to visit us today here from Boston. He just arrived from Boston yesterday. I asked him to come along and talk to us today about what he's finding out there in the area of email, social, and storytelling. But first, a few words from your sponsor. Email Vision is a software company. We provide software tools for marketers to be able to manage your email and your social marketing campaigns. It's really about retention email marketing campaigns. And we have a stand here, so you can see the software afterwards if you're interested in the product. We're the most international email service provider. We have, in fact, actually 16 countries now opened worldwide. We cover most of the international markets, which is increasingly important for marketers like you, particularly in Belgium, where you have a very international reach, and getting your messages delivered on a global basis is more and more important. We're also one of the fastest growing email service providers. In fact, this year our growth is accelerating. We're growing at like 45%, primarily driven by the success of email marketing. Number of messages that we sent on behalf of our clients this year has increased. We'll be doing about 40 or 50 billion messages on behalf of our customers today, which, if you put this into perspective, is more than all of the post offices are sending in traditional direct mail or snail mail, as we call it. And as a company, we're about 350 people today, and we have a plan to take the company up to about 1,000 people over the next 3 years. So we'll be hiring about 700 people over the next 3 years and investing about 50 million euros in technology in order to better service marketers such as yourselves and be able to execute on your email and on your social email marketing campaigns. Anyway, we're not here to talk about technology today. We're going to be talking about something which is beyond technology, and this is something which we believe is the next big thing in online marketing, and that is storytelling. And I've asked my friend here, John Sadowsky, to join us. And John, I know you've been working on storytelling for a long time. I think you've been working on storytelling for leadership in particular over the last 10 years. Tell us about who you are and what you do.
Well, thank you, Nick, and thanks for inviting me. I did my doctoral study in leadership and storytelling, and the combination of the two. And for the past 12 years, I've been mostly coaching individuals and coaching companies about how to grow and develop leaders. What we found, and I've known Nick for a long time, what we found was one day Nick asked me, how does all this stuff apply to branding and to email marketing? And when I looked at that, it turns out that it's very interesting. And we share a common vision that storytelling is really the future, or involved in a big way in the future of all this. So that's what we're here to talk about today.
Thank you. And you, in your book, you came out with a book on this about a year ago on on leadership and storytelling. That was last year's book. You're working on a new book now?
This is last year's book, which has been very successful in the French market. It's obviously in French. But it's about the 7 rules of storytelling for leaders. What I'm working on now is a book that should be out by year end, which is all about email, social marketing, and storytelling, and using the 3 synergistically. That's what I've been working on next, and it's a great project. It's really fun.
So you've gone out there, and I've asked you to take a look at some email campaigns and see how they could be improved in terms of storytelling. And one of the first campaigns that you showed me was a company called Starbucks.
Well, you know, I have to tell you all that when Nick asked me to look into this, I looked in my own email box. And I have been a fan of Starbucks for a while, and I'm on their mailing list. So I was watching the mailings that companies were sending to me. One of the things that I saw with Starbucks was, if you look at this from a storytelling perspective, there's really not much there. I mean, I like Starbucks. They're a great company. I don't want to say too much negative about them. But really what they do with email is promotional and informational. And I think a company like Starbucks has some great stories to tell about the coffees and about the people who grow the coffees. So I'm a bit frustrated that they're not telling those stories. I haven't really seen them in their email campaigns.
LL Bean, this is a company I love. They're open 24/7, hunting gear, sportswear.
Yeah, this is another one of my things when I spend time in the U.S. where I used to have spent a lot of my life. I like this store a lot. And LL Bean, again, it's something that comes from my inbox. I was on their mailing list, and they send things like this. It's a little bit more personalized. He's starting to tell a story. Now all my friends want one. But I think they can go a lot further. I'd like to see more personalization and more stories in their emails, in their mailings.
Yeah, I remember a great story about LL Bean. There was a story about how great they are about customer service, how obsessed they are about customer service, and one guy decided to test it one day. He came into the store with a tractor tire, and he says, "I'm not happy with this tractor tire. I want to be reimbursed." And no questions asked, they reimbursed him for the tractor tire, even though they do not sell tractor tires. But that story created part of the myth around LL Bean.
You know, I went into them once with a polar fleece that I had had for 14 years, and I just wanted to fix the zipper or get another one like it. And they looked at the thing and they said, "Oh, our product shouldn't be defective like that. We want to give you a new one." And I think it's that kind of company, and they have great stories to tell about service and service recovery, and they're not really telling them.
How about Patagonia? Are they using storytelling in their email marketing campaigns?
Well, now you're going to see my bias kind of toward the outdoors, but one of the things I'm really interested in is companies like Patagonia, I think, have great stories to tell. And again, I'm a fan of theirs. I'm on their mailing list. I know a lot of people at the company, and I think they're beginning to tell stories. If you see down in the left-hand corner, lower left-hand corner, this is one of the Patagonia ambassadors. So they're starting to personalize and tell some personal stories, but again, I think they can do better. If you go, I think we have another slide. This is the story of the ambassador, but the story of the ambassador is, to me, a story about who he is, which is already something very good. Not connected enough to the product and how he uses the product and how the product fits into the story. So again, I think companies like Starbucks, companies like LL Bean, companies like Patagonia, they're doing some good things, but I still think they're missing opportunities to really tell their stories and tie the story of who their users are to who they are.
What's this company, Bike Friday?
This comes from my inbox. I'm a consumer of Bike Friday. I have one of their bicycles. They're folding bicycles. It's a small company on the west coast of the United States, and they make folding bicycles. The thing I like about the way this company uses email is, you know, we all get too much email, and we all tend to want to